She was rejected on a Christmas blind date until a billionaire walked into her life. She's carrying shrimp when she hears her blind date calling her ordinary. Simone Brooks freezes in the kitchen doorway of the Christmas party she's catering. Her own company's party. The tray shakes. Through the crack, she sees Trevor laughing with the marketing team. Yeah, I met her last week. Not my type. Too old, too. You know. Her throat closes. She's 48. Divorced 3 years. Built this catering business from her sister's kitchen. And she's about to drop $200 worth of appetizers because the man who barely made it through drinks is out there making her a joke. She turns. Crashes into a chest. The tray tilts. Strong hands catch it. Catch her. Whoa. You okay? She looks up. Carter Hayes. The venture capitalist everyone's been trying to impress all night. He's staring at her like he can see straight through to the part that's breaking. Tell me his name. Welcome to our channel, where we bring you emotional stories that stay with you. If you're new here, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you never miss a story. And if you're returning, thank you. Your support means everything. Now, stay until the end, drop a comment with your thoughts and let's begin. I'm fine. Simone's voice came out steadier than she felt. She took the tray back, fingers brushing his. Just clumsy. You're lying. Carter Hayes didn't move. Didn't step back to let her pass. The kitchen felt smaller with him in it. 6'2", dark hair with silver at the temples. Wearing a charcoal sweater that probably cost more than her monthly van payment. Who said what? No one. I need to. The guy by the window. His jaw shifted. Checked shirt, talking too loud? Her stomach dropped. You heard. Enough. He took the tray from her hands, set it on the counter. Turned back. How do you know him? She shouldn't answer. Should grab the shrimp, get back to work, keep her head down like she'd learned to do. But something about the way he was looking at her, not through her, not past her, but at her like she mattered, made the truth spill out. Blind date. Last week. She laughed, but it came out wrong. My sister set it up. Said I needed to stop hiding. And he spent 40 minutes talking about his ex-wife's Instagram following. Then asked if I'd gained weight since my profile photo. She crossed her arms. I left before appetizers. Carter's expression didn't change, but his hands curled into fists. Relaxed. His loss. Yeah. She reached for the tray. Look, I appreciate they. Have dinner with me. The words hung between them. Outside, someone laughed. Ice clinked in glasses. Mariah Carey drifted through the speaker system. Inside the kitchen, Simone forgot how to breathe. What? Dinner. He said it like it was simple. Like men like him asked women like her to dinner every day. Tomorrow night. Somewhere that's not your own party. I don't, she shook her head. You don't even know me. I know you built a catering company good enough that my firm hired you. I know you're working your own event instead of enjoying it. I know some idiot out there is too stupid to see what's right in front of him. Carter stepped closer. Not crowding, just close enough that she could smell cedar and something clean. And I know I've been watching you all night trying to figure out how to talk to you without sounding like every other guy at this party. Her pulse kicked. This is a joke. Does this feel like a joke? He pulled out his phone, handed it to her. The screen showed a new contact entry. Cursor blinking in the name field. Put your number in. If you don't want dinner, block me tomorrow. But give me the chance to prove he's wrong about you. You don't know what he said. I know enough. His voice dropped. And I know you deserve better than ordinary. The word hit like a slap. Like he'd heard more than she thought. Simone stared at the phone in her hands. Then at him. He was younger. Successful. The kind of man who probably had women throwing themselves at him at every event like this. And he was asking her. Why? The question came out small. Carter smiled. Not the polished smile he'd been wearing all night with the executives. Something softer. Real. Because when you walked in earlier and started directing your team, you had this look. Like you were conducting an orchestra and everyone else just didn't know the music yet. Because you've smiled at every single guest tonight but haven't smiled for yourself once. Because, he paused. Because I think you're beautiful, and I'd like to know if you laugh at bad jokes. Her hands shook typing in her number. Girl, you better not cancel. Lorraine's voice crackled through Simone's phone, competing with the sound of her chopping onions. I don't care if you're nervous. I'm not nervous. Simone pressed the phone between her ear and shoulder, checking the colored greens simmering on her stove. The kitchen smelled like home, onions, garlic, smoked turkey, the way Mama used to make them. I'm being realistic. Realistic. Lorraine snorted. Baby, a fine man asked you to dinner and actually followed up. That's not realistic, that's a Christmas miracle. He had followed up. Text at 7 the next morning. Good morning. Still want that dinner? No pressure. She'd stared at it for 20 minutes before responding. Maybe. His reply came back instantly. I'll take maybe. Pick you up at 7 tonight? Now it was 4 in the afternoon on Christmas Eve, and she had 3 hours to figure out what possessed her to say yes. He's 34, Lorraine. And I'm 48 with stretch marks and a mortgage. And he knows that. Asked you anyway. Simone heard cabinet doors opening on Lorraine's end. What you wearing? I don't know. The black dress. The funeral one? It's elegant. It's depressing. Lorraine paused. Wear that burgundy wrap dress. The one that makes your waist look good. Show him you're confident. Simone stirred the greens, watching them wilt in the pot liquor. What if this is some kind of, I don't know, pity thing? Simone Marie Brooks. Lorraine's voice went flat. If I have to drive over there and shake sense into you on Christmas Eve, I will. That man spent 10 minutes talking to you in a kitchen at a work event and asked you out. Men don't do pity dates at 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. They do pity dates at lunch on Tuesdays. Despite herself, Simone smiled. That's specific. I've lived, baby. Now listen to me. Lorraine's tone softened. I know Trevor messed with your head. I know the divorce made you feel like you were invisible. But that was 3 years ago, and you are not the same woman who begged Gerald to go to counseling. You built a whole business. You got a man who looks like a cologne ad asking you to dinner. Let yourself have this. Simone closed her eyes. Outside her kitchen window, her neighbor's Christmas lights blinked red and green. She thought about Carter's hands catching the tray. The way he'd looked at her like she was the only person in the room worth seeing. What if I'm too old for this? Too old for what? Dinner. Conversation. A man appreciating you. Lorraine sucked her teeth. Girl, bye. Age is just a number, and clearly his number is 48 plus fine equals call me. Now go put on that dress and some of that perfume Beverly got you. After they hung up, Simone stood in her kitchen listening to the greens bubble. Mary J. Blige played low on her speaker. Be Without You, and she let herself imagine it. Just for a second. What it might feel like to sit across from someone who chose her. Who saw her and didn't look away. Her phone buzzed. Carter. Still good for tonight? I'm thinking Italian. Small place. Quiet. Unless you'd prefer something else? She typed back before she could overthink it. Italian sounds perfect. Carter, can't wait. See you at 7, Simone. He'd used her name. Not hey or hi. Her name. She went to find the burgundy dress. The doorbell rang exactly at 7. Simone checked her reflection one last time. Burgundy dress, minimal jewelry, hair in soft curls that had taken 45 minutes and 3 YouTube tutorials. She looked good. Felt like herself. She opened the door. Carter stood on her porch in dark jeans and a gray sweater, holding a single white rose. Not a bouquet. Just one perfect rose. Hi. His smile was different than at the party. Nervous. You look incredible. Thank you. She took the rose, their fingers brushing. This is too much. He shoved his hands in his pockets. I wasn't sure. Every article I read said flowers, but then some said flowers were old-fashioned, and I figured one was a compromise. It's perfect. She met his eyes. You read articles? Maybe 3. His ears went slightly red. Possibly 7. I wanted to get this right. Something warm spread through her chest. "Come in. Let me put this in water." He followed her into the house, and she was suddenly aware of everything. The worn couch she'd been meaning to replace, the family photos on the wall, the faint smell of grains still lingering from earlier. Her house. Her life. Nothing fancy. "Your place is nice," Carter said, studying a photo of her and her sister Beverly at her niece's graduation. "That your family?" "My sister and her daughter. Keisha just finished her master's last spring." Simone filled a small vase, placed the rose in it. "You have siblings?" "One sister. Melissa. She's..." He hesitated. Opinionated. "Older or younger?" "Older. By 6 years. Thinks it gives her the right to run my life." He smiled. "You close with your sister?" "Very. She's the one who convinced me to start the catering business when I needed a change." Simone grabbed her coat from the closet, loaned me her kitchen, tested every recipe, told me when things tasted terrible. "What made you want to cater?" She paused, coat halfway on. "Most people didn't ask follow-up questions. I used to cook for my family every Sunday. Big dinners, the whole thing. After my divorce, I needed something that felt like mine. Something I could control." She shrugged. "Feeding people makes them happy. I like that." Carter held the door open for her. "For what it's worth, that shrimp at the party was the best thing I've eaten in months." "You're just saying that." "I ate 9 of them. My assistant counted." He grinned. "She was judging me." Simone laughed, a real laugh, and something tight in her chest loosened. His car was parked in her driveway. Sleek, black, probably worth more than she'd made all year. He opened her door without making it a production, waited until she was settled before closing it gently. The interior smelled like leather and that cedar scent she remembered. Jazz played low on the stereo. "So where are we going?" she asked as he pulled out of her neighborhood. "Little place in Buckhead. Family owned. Best Oso Buco in Atlanta." He glanced over. "But if you'd rather go somewhere else." "Buckhead's fine." She smoothed her dress. "I don't get out there much." "No. Most of my events are corporate or weddings. When I'm done, I usually just want to go home and not look at food." She smiled. "Plus, it's hard to justify fancy restaurants when you know how much the ingredients cost." Occupational hazard? Something like that. They drove in comfortable silence for a moment. Then Carter said, "Can I ask you something?" Her stomach tightened. "Okay." "Why'd you say yes to dinner?" He kept his eyes on the road. "I've been trying to figure it out. You seemed pretty sure it was a bad idea in that kitchen." Simone watched streetlights blur past her window. Christmas decorations glowed on houses. Wreaths, lights, inflatable Santas. Families inside, probably. Watching movies. Being together. Honestly. She turned to look at him. "Because you asked like you actually wanted to know me. Not like you were doing me a favor. And because..." She trailed off. "Because. Because I'm tired of being invisible." The words came out quieter than she meant. "And you saw me when I needed someone to." Carter's hands tightened on the steering wheel. He didn't respond right away, just drove. Then, at a red light, he turned to her. "For the record." His voice was serious. "There's nothing ordinary about you, Simone Brooks. And I'm going to spend tonight proving it." The light turned green. He drove. And Simone let herself hope. The restaurant was tucked into a corner of Buckhead she'd driven past 100 times without noticing. Warm light spilled from tall windows. A small sign in Italian script. Valet parking. Carter handed his keys to the attendant like it was nothing. Placed his hand on the small of her back, light, respectful, as they walked to the entrance. The host's face lit up. "Mr. Hayes. Buona sera." "Buona sera, Marco." Carter shook his hand. "This is Simone." Marco turned to her, and his smile didn't falter. Didn't flicker with judgment or surprise. "Signorina. Welcome. Your table is ready." He led them past other diners, couples mostly, a few families, to a corner booth with soft lighting and a view of the kitchen. Intimate without being isolated. The kind of table you requested for someone who mattered. This okay? Carter asked as Marco handed them menus. It's perfect. And she meant it. They settled in. A waiter appeared with water, bread, olive oil infused with herbs. Simone broke off a piece of bread, dipped it. The oil was good, really good. She could taste rosemary, garlic, a hint of red pepper. You're analyzing it. Carter smiled. Occupational hazard. She took another bite. It's excellent. Wait until you try the osso buco. He leaned back, studying her. So, tell me something about you that's not on a catering invoice. She laughed. What do you want to know? Everything. But let's start easy. He poured them both water. What do you do when you're not feeding half of Atlanta? She paused. When was the last time someone asked her that? I cook for myself, actually. Sunday dinners for my family. Me, Beverly, her daughter Keisha, sometimes my cousin Tamara if she's in town. We do the whole thing. Fried chicken, mac and cheese, greens. Sounds like my kind of Sunday. Yeah. She tilted her head. What do you do on Sundays? Work mostly. He grimaced. Not exciting. My sister gives me grief about it constantly. The opinionated one? That's her. He broke off bread. Melissa thinks I need hobbies. A life outside venture capital. She's probably right. What would you do? If you had time. Carter considered this. When I was younger, I used to build things. Furniture, mostly. Had a whole woodshop set up in my garage. He smiled, but it didn't quite reach his eyes. Haven't touched it in years. Why not? Time. Priorities. He shrugged. Easier to just work. Simone recognized that deflection. She'd used it herself for 3 years. You miss it. Sometimes. He met her gaze. What about you? What did you used to do before life got busy? Paint. The word came out before she could stop it. Watercolors, mostly. Nothing serious. Just, for me. When'd you stop? When my ex-husband said I was wasting money on supplies. The bitterness surprised her. She hadn't meant to say that part. Carter's expression hardened. He sounds like a real prize. He had his moments. She sipped water. Mostly bad ones toward the end. How long were you married? 18 years. God, it sounded like a lifetime. Divorced 3 years ago. He left for someone younger, thinner, more. She waved her hand. You know. No. I don't. The way he said it, flat certain, made her look up. I don't know, he repeated. Because I can't imagine looking at you and thinking there's something better. That's not how this works. Her throat tightened. You don't know me. Then let me. He leaned forward. That's why we're here, right? So I can know you and you can decide if I'm worth your time. Worth my time. She laughed. Carter, you're a venture capitalist. You probably have women. I don't. The interruption was gentle but firm. I date occasionally. Nothing serious. Most women I meet want the portfolio more than the person. He paused. You didn't even know who I was at that party. Should I have? God, I hope not. He grinned. It's refreshing. You looked at me like I was just some guy blocking your path to the shrimp. You were blocking my path. See? Refreshing. The waiter returned. They ordered osso buco for her, braised short ribs for him, a bottle of red wine Carter chose without pretension. When the waiter left, Simone found herself relaxing into the booth, into the conversation, into the possibility that this might actually be real. Can I ask you something? She said. Anything. Why me? She held up a hand before he could answer. I know you said the thing about the orchestra, but really, you could have asked out anyone at that party. Younger women. Women without. She gestured vaguely at herself. Why me? Carter was quiet for a moment. When he spoke, his voice was thoughtful. You want the truth? Please. Because when I walked into that party, I saw you directing your team. You had this way of moving, efficient but kind. You corrected someone's plating, but you smiled when you did it. Made them feel like they'd learned something instead of messed up. He swirled wine in his glass. Then later, I saw you talking to Mrs. Chen from accounting. She was standing alone by the dessert table looking lost, and you brought her a plate of cookies and just talked to her. Made her feel included. Quick pause. If you're feeling this story, hype it so others can find it. Comment where you're watching from. Now, back to the story. Simone remembered. Mrs. Chen always looked lonely at company events. And then, Carter continued, I saw that idiot talking about you. Saw your face when you heard him. Saw you trying to hold it together. His jaw tightened. And I thought, this woman spends her whole night making sure everyone else is taken care of, and no one's taking care of her. I wanted to be the one who did. The wine arrived. Simone was grateful for the interruption, for the moment to process what he'd just said. No one had seen her like that. Not in years. Maybe ever. That's. She cleared her throat. That's a really good answer. It's the truth. He poured them both wine. Your turn. Why'd you really say yes? She took a sip. The wine was good, rich, warm, slightly sweet. Because you asked like it mattered. Like I mattered. She met his eyes. And because I'm tired of playing it safe. How's that working out so far? Ask me at the end of the night. He smiled. Raised his glass. To taking chances. She clinked her glass against his. To not playing it safe. The osso buco was as good as he'd promised. Maybe better. They talked through dinner. Easy conversation that flowed like they'd known each other longer than 2 days. He told her about growing up in Connecticut, his father's construction business, how he'd worked summers pouring concrete before business school. She told him about her mother's cooking, Sunday services at Greater Bethel Baptist, the way her grandmother used to hum Mahalia Jackson while making peach cobbler. I haven't thought about that in years, Simone said, surprised at herself. Grandma's cobbler. She made it every Christmas Eve. What happened to the recipe? My sister has it. We make it sometimes, but it never tastes quite right. She smiled sadly. Missing that secret ingredient only grandmas have. Love. Probably. She laughed. And butter. So much butter. Dessert came, tiramisu to share. Carter insisted. They traded bites, talked about terrible holiday movies, debated whether Die Hard counted as a Christmas film. It's set at Christmas, Carter argued. That makes it a Christmas movie. It's an action movie that happens to take place at Christmas. There's a difference. Agree to disagree. Never. She grinned. I'm right, you'll see. His eyes crinkled. I like when you get stubborn. Your whole face changes. The intimacy of the observation caught her off guard. Made her aware of how close they were leaning across the table. How his knee was almost touching hers under it. I should probably be less stubborn, she said softly. Why? Because I'm 48 and set in my ways and... Simone. He reached across the table, covered her hand with his. Stop doing that. Doing what? Apologizing for who you are. Diminishing yourself. His thumb traced her knuckles. You're 48 and successful and beautiful and sitting here with me because I asked. Because I wanted to. Not because I felt sorry for you or because I'm doing you some kind of favor. Because I think you're remarkable, and I want to know everything about you. Her eyes stung. She blinked. I don't know what to say to that. Say you'll let me take you out again. His hand squeezed hers. New Year's Eve. There's a gala. Big charity thing my firm sponsors every year. Come with me. Carter, that's too fast. He didn't let go. Maybe. But I don't want to play games, Simone. I'm too old for that, and life's too short. I like you. I want to keep seeing you. If you need time to think about it, that's fine. But I'm asking. She looked at their hands, his pale fingers wrapped around her darker ones, the contrast somehow beautiful instead of strange. Thought about Trevor calling her ordinary. About 3 years of believing she was invisible. About this man who saw her and wasn't looking away. New Year's Eve, she heard herself say. Okay. His smile was better than dessert. Carter walked her to the door, hands in his pockets like he was afraid of moving too fast. The porch light cast warm shadows. Her neighbor's Christmas lights still blinked across the street. "Thank you for tonight," Simone said, keys in hand. "I had a really good time." "Yeah." He stepped closer. Not crowding, just near. "Good enough that you won't block my number?" "I'll think about it." She smiled. "Probably not." "I'll take probably." He reached up, tucked a curl behind her ear. The touch was feather-light, but it sent warmth through her entire body. "Can I tell you something?" "Okay." "I haven't stopped thinking about you since that party. The way you looked in that kitchen. Scared but strong. Like you were breaking but wouldn't let anyone see." His voice dropped. "I wanted to find that guy and make him apologize. But more than that, I wanted to prove him wrong. Wanted you to see what I saw." "What do you see?" The question came out whisper-soft. "Someone extraordinary." He said it simple. True. Someone I can't wait to know better. She couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Could only feel the space between them shrinking, his hand sliding to cup her cheek, the question in his eyes asking permission. She answered by closing the distance. The kiss was soft. Gentle. His lips warm against hers, tasting like wine and tiramisu and something hopeful. Her hand found his chest, felt his heart racing as fast as hers. When they pulled apart, his forehead rested against hers. "Simone Brooks," he whispered. "You're going to ruin me." "Is that a bad thing?" "Best thing that's happened to me in years." He kissed her once more, quick, sweet, then stepped back before either of them could get carried away. "Text me when you're inside," he said. "Okay." She watched him walk to his car, waited until he drove away, taillights disappearing around the corner. Then she went inside, closed the door, and pressed her back against it. Her phone buzzed. "Carter. Thank you for taking a chance on me. Sweet dreams, Simone." She typed back. "Thank you for seeing me. Good night, Carter." Then she called Lorraine. "Girl, tell me everything." Simone laughed, sliding down to sit on the floor of her entryway, still in her coat and heels, grinning like a teenager. "Lorraine," she said, "I think I'm in trouble. Good trouble or bad trouble?" She touched her lips, remembering the kiss. "I have no idea." Over the next week, Carter texted every morning. Nothing excessive. Just enough to let her know he was thinking about her. "Carter. Good morning. How's the day looking?" "Carter. Saw this and thought of you. Photo of a terrible restaurant plating job." "Carter. 3 days until I get to see you again. Who's counting?" Simone found herself smiling at her phone like a fool. Lorraine noticed during their post-Christmas lunch at Beverly's house. "Girl, who is that?" Beverly asked, watching Simone grin at another text. "No one." Simone tucked her phone away, but it was too late. Lorraine leaned across the table. "It's the billionaire." Beverly's fork clattered. "The what?" Simone went on a date with a venture capitalist on Christmas Eve, and now she's acting like she's 25. Lorraine grinned. "It's adorable. I'm not acting like anything." Simone felt her face heat. "We just had dinner." Beverly exchanged a look with Lorraine. And he asked me to a New Year's Eve gala." Simone picked at her sweet potato casserole. "His firm sponsors it every year. Big charity thing." Beverly set down her glass. "Simone. That's serious. It's just a party." "No, baby, that's an appearance." Lorraine's voice went gentle. "That's him showing you off. Introducing you to people. That's different than dinner." The weight of it settled in Simone's stomach. She'd been so caught up in the romance of it. The texts, the kiss, the way Carter looked at her like she hung the moon, that she hadn't thought about what it meant. What people would think. "He's 34, she said quietly. Beverly reached across the table, squeezed her hand. "I know. People are going to talk. Let them." Lorraine's voice was firm. "You deserve happiness, Simone. Don't let other people's opinions steal that." "But what if?" She stopped. Started again. "What if they're right? What if I'm too old for this? What if he realizes? Realizes what? Beverly's eyes flashed. That you're a beautiful, successful, amazing woman who any man would be lucky to have? Girl, stop. Beverly's right. Lorraine pointed her fork. You've spent 3 years making yourself small because Gerald made you feel like you weren't enough. Don't do it again. Simone's phone buzzed. Carter. Thinking about you. Hope your family lunch is going well. She stared at the message. Thought about his hand in hers. The way he'd kissed her on her doorstep. The certainty in his voice when he called her extraordinary. Simone, it's good. Lots of food. Lots of opinions. Carter. The good kind of opinions? Simone, the concerned sister kind. Carter. Want me to win her over? I'm very charming. Despite everything, she smiled. Simone. I'll let you know if I need backup. Carter. Standing by. He's sweet, Beverly said, reading over her shoulder. I'll give him that. He is. Simone locked her phone. But that doesn't change reality. Reality is he chose you. Beverly's voice was steady. Stop waiting for him to change his mind. Simone stood in her bedroom surrounded by rejected dresses. She'd tried on 6. Nothing felt right. Everything was too tight, too loose, too young, too matronly, too. Her phone rang. Carter. Hey, she answered. Hey yourself. His voice was warm. You okay? You sound stressed. I'm fine. Just trying to figure out what to wear tonight. Whatever you pick will be perfect. That's not helpful. She laughed despite herself. This is a big event, right? Your colleagues will be there. A pause. Yeah. My firm, some investors, business partners. Why? Just trying to get a sense of, I don't know, what to expect. She sat on her bed, surrounded by tulle and sequins. Carter, are you sure about this? About me coming tonight. Simone. His voice went serious. Look at me. Well, you can't look at me because I'm on the phone, but, yes. I'm sure. I want you there. With me. What if people? What if people what? Judge us. Talk. He exhaled. Let them. I don't care what they think. I care about you. The words should have been reassuring. Were reassuring. But they didn't erase the knot in her stomach. My sister thinks I'm setting myself up to get hurt, she said quietly. Are you? I don't know. Honest. Raw. I just keep thinking about how this looks. You and me. The age thing. The fact that you're black and I'm white. He said it direct. Not dancing around it. Yeah. She twisted the duvet between her fingers. I've done interracial relationships before, but this feels different. The age gap plus everything else. People are going to have opinions. They will. He didn't sugarcoat it. And I can't control that. But Simone, I need you to hear me. I'm not asking you to tonight's gala because I want arm candy or because I'm trying to prove something. I'm asking because I want to spend New Year's Eve with you. Because in the week since our dinner, I haven't been able to stop thinking about you. Because I like who I am when I'm with you. Her eyes burned. You barely know me. Then let me know you better. Come tonight. Let me introduce you to the people in my life. Let me show you off because I'm proud to be with you. His voice dropped. And if at any point you're uncomfortable, we leave. No questions. I promise. She looked at the dresses scattered across her bed. Thought about Trevor calling her ordinary. About 3 years of invisible. About Carter's kiss on her doorstep and the way his hand felt holding hers. Okay, she said. I'll be ready at 7. Thank you. Relief flooded his voice. Simone. Yeah. Wear whatever makes you feel beautiful. That's all that matters. After they hung up, she chose the emerald green dress. The one she'd bought 2 years ago and never had occasion to wear. The one that fit her body like it was made for her, showing her curves without apology. She was done making herself small. The venue was downtown, one of those historic buildings renovated into event space, all exposed brick and chandeliers. Valets in bow ties. Women in gowns that cost more than her monthly mortgage. Men in tuxedos that fit like second skins. Carter's hand found hers as they walked from the car. "You look stunning." "You don't look so bad yourself." And he didn't. Black tuxedo, crisp white shirt, bow tie slightly loosened like he'd already been pulling at it. Gorgeous in a way that made her hyper-aware of every eye tracking them. Inside, the party was in full swing. Jazz quartet in the corner. Champagne flowing. Conversations humming under the music. And everywhere, people turning to look. At them. At her. She felt Carter's hand tighten on hers. "Mr. Hayes." A silver-haired man approached, beaming. "Good to see you. Richard Hay." Carter shook his hand, then turned. "This is Simone Brooks." "Simone, Richard Chen. He runs our West Coast operations." Richard's smile was genuine. Warm. "Ms. Brooks, pleasure. Are you in finance?" "I run a catering company, actually." She shook his hand. "Brooks and Company." "Oh." His face lit up. "You catered our holiday party. My wife raved about the shrimp." The tension in her shoulders eased. "I'm glad she enjoyed it." They talked for a few minutes before Richard excused himself. Carter leaned down, whispered in her ear. "See? Not so bad." But then she saw them. Two women by the bar, mid-30s, polished and perfect. Watching. One whispered to the other, eyes sliding from Carter to Simone and back. The judgment was clear even from 15 feet away. "Carter, darling." A woman materialized beside them. Blonde, maybe 40, wearing a silver dress that probably cost 5 figures. She air-kissed Carter's cheeks, then turned assessing eyes on Simone. "And who's this?" "Vanessa, this is Simone Brooks." Carter's voice stayed even. "Simone, Vanessa Whitmore. She's married to one of our senior partners." "How nice." Vanessa's smile didn't reach her eyes. "Brooks. That's the catering company, right? You did our party." "I did." Simone kept her voice pleasant. "It was lovely. Such wonderful service." The emphasis on service was slight but deliberate. "Are you working tonight or?" "She's here with me," Carter said, edge creeping into his tone. "Oh." Vanessa's eyes widened with false surprise. "Oh, how wonderful. That's so progressive of you, Carter." The word hung between them like a slap. "If you'll excuse us," Carter said tightly. "We need to say hello to some people." He steered Simone away, but the damage was done. She could feel the stares now. The whispers. See the calculation in people's eyes as they tracked her movement through the room. The help. That's what Vanessa had implied. That's what they were all thinking. "Simone." Carter stopped, turned her to face him. "Don't let her get to you. Vanessa's a snob. Always has been." "She's not wrong, though." Simone's voice came out small. "I did cater your party. I was working while you were networking. We're from different worlds, Carter." "So what?" His hands cupped her face. "I don't care about worlds. I care about you." "Carter." A woman's voice, sharp, familiar. Carter's expression shifted. Closed off. "My sister," he muttered. The woman approaching was beautiful in a severe way. Dark hair pulled back tight, red dress, expression that could freeze hell. She looked from Carter to Simone with barely concealed displeasure. "Melissa." Carter's voice was careful. "This is Simone Brooks." "Simone, my sister Melissa Hayes." "Ms. Brooks." Melissa's handshake was perfunctory. "I've heard about you." "Have you?" Simone kept her voice neutral. "Carter mentioned he was bringing someone tonight. I assumed." Melissa's eyes traveled over Simone, cataloging. "Well, it's lovely to meet you." The but hung unspoken. "Can I talk to you?" Melissa said to Carter, not phrasing it as a question. "Privately." Carter's jaw tightened. "Now's not." "Now, Carter." Simone touched his arm. "It's fine. I'll get us drinks." She walked away before he could protest, feeling Melissa's eyes boring into her back. At the bar, she ordered champagne with hands that shook slightly. "Rough night." She turned. A black woman about her age stood beside her. Kind eyes and a knowing smile. I'm Nicole. My husband works with Carter. Simone. She accepted the champagne from the bartender. And yeah, something like that. First time meeting the Hayes family establishment? Nicole's voice was sympathetic. It's a lot. They mean well mostly. But they're very. She searched for the word. Protective. Of what? Him or their reputation? Both, probably. Nicole sipped her drink. For what it's worth, I've never seen Carter look at anyone the way he looks at you. And I've been coming to these things for 8 years. Really? Really? He watches you like you're the only person in the room. Nicole smiled. Hold on to that. The Melissas and Vanessas of the world will always have opinions. But their opinions don't pay your bills or keep you warm at night. Despite everything, Simone laughed. That's true. There you are. Carter appeared at her elbow, face stormy. He took her hand. Can we talk? Outside. Is everything? Please. She followed him through the crowd to a balcony overlooking the city. Cold air hit her face. Below, Atlanta sparkled with lights and life. Behind them, the party continued without them. Carter paced, hands in his pockets, not looking at her. My sister thinks this is a mistake, he finally said. You and me. She said I'm being impulsive. Said you're too different from what I usually. He stopped, turned. I told her she could mind her own damn business. Carter. No, let me finish. He closed the distance between them. I know tonight's been hard. I know people are staring and whispering and judging. I know my sister was rude and Vanessa was worse. But Simone, I need you to know something. He took her hands. I don't care about any of it. Not their opinions, not their judgment, not their outdated ideas about who should be with who. I care about you. About this. About what we could be if you let us. Her eyes burned. What if it's too hard? What if? Then we figure it out. Together. His thumbs traced her knuckles. But please don't let them win. Don't let them make you feel small. She looked at their joined hands. Thought about Vanessa's smile. Melissa's disapproval. The whispers she could feel even from out here. What did your sister say exactly? She asked quietly. Carter hesitated. That I need to think about how this looks. You being older, the racial dynamic, the class difference. She said I'm being naive. Maybe she's right. She's not. His voice was fierce. She's scared. Scared I'm making a mistake. But I'm not, Simone. You're not a mistake. Inside, someone started counting down. 10, 9, 8. Come back inside with me, Carter said. Kiss me at midnight. Show them we're real. 7, 6, 5. She looked at him. At the hope in his eyes. The certainty. 4, 3, 2. Okay, she whispered. 1. He kissed her as fireworks exploded over the city. As the room inside erupted in cheers. As her heart hammered against her ribs with equal parts terror and hope. When they pulled apart, he rested his forehead against hers. Happy New Year, Simone Brooks. Happy New Year, Carter Hayes. They walked back inside together. Hand in hand. Heads high. But Simone saw Melissa watching from across the room. Saw Vanessa whispering to another woman. Saw the calculations happening in real time. And wondered how long hope could survive reality. The week after New Year's was different. Carter still texted every morning. But Simone's responses came slower. Shorter. She told herself she was busy. 3 events in 5 days, including a wedding reception for 200. But the truth sat heavier than exhaustion. She couldn't stop hearing Melissa's voice. Seeing Vanessa's calculated smile. Feeling the weight of every stare at that gala. Carter. Dinner this week? I miss you. Simone. Swamped with work. Rain check. Carter, of course. Let me know when you come up for air. She stared at the message. At the easy understanding that somehow made it worse. He was being patient. Kind. Everything she didn't deserve. You're doing it again, Lorraine said, watching her from across the catering kitchen. They were prepping for a corporate lunch. Chicken, roasted vegetables, that quinoa salad everyone requested. Doing what? Sabotaging. Lorraine pointed her knife. He texts you ghost. He asks you out, you're suddenly busy. What happened? Nothing happened. Simone. She set down the carrots she'd been chopping. His sister hates me. His colleagues think I'm the help who got ideas above her station. Every time we're in public together, people stare like we're some kind of spectacle. And maybe they're right. The words tumbled out. Maybe I am being naive. He's 34, Lorraine. 34. In 10 years, he'll be 44 and I'll be 58. In 20 years, you'll have wasted the present worrying about a future that might not even happen. Lorraine wiped her hands on her apron. Baby, I love you. But you're looking for reasons to run. I'm being realistic. You're being scared. Lorraine's voice gentled. And I get it. Gerald hurt you. Made you feel like you weren't enough. But Carter's not Gerald. I know that. Do you? Lorraine tilted her head. Because from where I'm standing, you're punishing him for wounds someone else left. Before Simone could respond, her phone rang. Beverly. Hey sis. Have you seen it? Beverly's voice was tight. Simone's stomach dropped. Seen what? Check your email. Someone sent you something. She opened her email with shaking hands. There, subject line, thought you should know. The sender was anonymous. The body contained a single link. She clicked. A gossip blog loaded. Atlanta social scene coverage. And there, third item down, was a photo from the New Year's gala. Her and Carter. His hand on her waist. Her looking up at him. The headline read, Hayes airs New Year surprise. Venture capitalist steps out with mystery woman. The article was short. Speculative. It mentioned the age difference. Sources estimate she's at least a decade older, and noted that she ran a catering company. The comments section was worse. Gold digger alert. She looks old enough to be his mom. He can do so much better. Bet she trapped him somehow. The phone slipped from Simone's hands. Simone. Lorraine caught her elbow. What is it? She couldn't speak. Could only stare at the screen. At the comments multiplying in real time. Strangers dissecting her worth. Her age. Her right to exist beside Carter Hayes. Oh, baby. Lorraine read over her shoulder. Pulled her into a hug. Don't read that garbage. It's just jealous people with nothing better to do. But Simone was already spiraling. Already seeing herself through their eyes. Too old, too ordinary, too desperate. A 48-year-old woman clinging to a younger man's attention like a life raft. Her phone rang again. Carter. She sent it to voicemail. It rang again. Again, voicemail. Carter. I'm guessing you saw the article. Can we talk? Please. Simone. Not right now. Carter. Simone, those comments don't matter. We knew people would talk. Simone. I need some space. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Carter. Okay. But I'm here when you're ready. She wasn't sure she'd ever be ready. Beverly's house smelled like home. Fried chicken crackling in oil. Cornbread in the oven. Greens simmering with smoked turkey. Simone moved through the familiar rhythm. Grateful for the distraction. You gonna tell me what's wrong? Beverly asked, checking the mac and cheese. Nothing's wrong. Girl. Beverly gave her the look. The one that said I changed your diapers. Don't lie to me. You've been quiet all week. Haven't mentioned Carter once. And you're cutting those tomatoes like they offended your ancestors. Simone set down the knife. I ended it. What? I told him I needed space. He got the message. She scraped tomatoes into a bowl. It's better this way. Better for who? Beverly's voice rose. Simone Marie Brooks, you did not just throw away a good man because of some internet trolls. It's not just that. Simone's throat tightened. It's everything. His sister. His world. I don't fit, Bev. And I'm tired of pretending I might. So you just gave up? I'm protecting myself. From what? Happiness. Beverly turned off the stove, faced her fully. Listen to me. I know you're scared. I know Gerald made you believe you weren't worth fighting for. But that man, Carter, he fought for you, took you to his company gala, introduced you to his colleagues, kissed you in front of everyone at midnight. And the first sign of trouble, you ran. It's not running if I'm being realistic. It's running. Beverly's eyes filled. And I hate seeing you do this to yourself. Hate seeing you make yourself small because other people are small-minded. I'm 48 years old. Simone's voice cracked. I have stretch marks and cellulite and gray hairs I have to dye every 6 weeks. In 10 years, I'll be almost 60. What happens when he realizes he could have had someone younger, prettier, someone who doesn't come with all my baggage? What happens if he doesn't care about any of that? Beverly grabbed her hands. What happens if he just wants you? The doorbell rang. That's Keisha and Tamara, Beverly said. We're finishing this conversation later. But when Beverly opened the door, it wasn't Keisha and Tamara. It was Carter. He stood on the porch in jeans and a navy sweater, holding a bakery box. His eyes found Simone's across the room. Hi, he said. Sorry to interrupt. I brought peach cobbler. He held up the box. Simone mentioned her grandmother used to make it, and I thought, well, I called 4 bakeries before I found one that made it right. Beverly looked from Carter to Simone. I'll just check on the chicken. She disappeared into the kitchen, leaving them alone. Carter stepped inside, closed the door. You've been avoiding me. I told you I needed space. You told me that after reading comments from strangers who don't know you, don't know us. He set the cobbler on the entry table. Simone, we need to talk. There's nothing to talk about. Really? Because I think there's a lot to talk about. Like how you shut down the second things got hard. Like how you're letting other people's opinions dictate what we do. His voice stayed even, but she heard the hurt underneath. Like how you didn't even give me a chance to fight for this. You can't fight reality, Carter. What reality? He stepped closer. That people will judge us. I already knew that. That my sister doesn't approve? I told her where she could put her approval. That there's an age difference? I have a calendar, Simone. I'm aware. His jaw tightened. What I'm not aware of is when you decided I was too young or too naive to know what I want. The words hit like a slap. That's not. Isn't it? His eyes flashed. You keep telling me all the reasons this won't work. Keep pointing out the age gap like I'm going to suddenly realize I made a mistake. But you know what? The only mistake I made was thinking you trusted me enough to believe I'm serious. I do trust you. No, you don't. He said it flat. Final. You trust that I'll leave. You're just trying to beat me to it. Silence stretched between them. From the kitchen, Beverly's gospel music played low. Yolanda Adams singing about faith. I read the comments, Simone said quietly. Every single one. They called me a gold digger. Said I looked like your mother. Said you could do better. And they're right, Carter. You could. Stop. He closed the distance, hands cupping her face. Stop letting strangers tell you what you're worth. Stop letting fear make your decisions. I'm not afraid. You're terrified. His thumbs traced her cheekbones. And I get it. I do. Your ex made you feel invisible. Society tells you you're too old. My sister questioned us. But Simone, none of that changes how I feel. None of it makes me want you less. Her eyes burned. You say that now. I'll say it every day for the rest of my life if that's what it takes. His voice cracked. I'm not Gerald. I'm not Trevor. I'm not some stranger on the internet. I'm the man who thinks about you first thing every morning. Who wants to know what your grandmother's cobbler tasted like. Who wants to sit at your family's Sunday dinner and hear your sister's embarrassing stories about you. I'm the man who's falling in love with you, Simone. And I need to know if you're going to let me. The words hung between them. Heavy. Real. You're falling in love with me? Her voice came out whisper small. Have been since you almost dropped that shrimp tray. He smiled, but it was sad. But I can't do this if you're going to run every time it gets hard. I need you to choose this. Choose us. Even when it's scary. From the kitchen, Beverly's voice called out. Chicken's ready. Carter, you staying for dinner? He didn't look away from Simone. Am I? She thought about the comments. The stares. Melissa's disapproval. The very real challenges ahead. Then she thought about his hand holding hers. His kiss on her doorstep. The way he looked at her like she was enough. I'm scared, she admitted. I know. I'm going to mess this up. Probably. He smiled. I'll mess it up too. But we'll figure it out. Your sister hates me. My sister will get over it or she won't. Either way, I'm choosing you. Her breath caught. Carter. Stay for dinner? Beverly called again. Carter's eyes searched hers. Asking. Hoping. Simone thought about running. About safety. About the comfortable loneliness she'd built around herself like armor. Then she thought about what Lorraine said. About wasting the present worrying about a future that might not even happen. Yes, she called back to Beverly. Then to Carter. Stay. Please. The relief on his face was beautiful. On one condition, she said. Anything. No more running. From either of us. We talk. We figure it out. But we don't run. Deal. He pulled her close, pressed a kiss to her forehead. We don't run. Beverly appeared in the doorway, spatula in hand. Y'all done being dramatic? Food's getting cold. Carter laughed. Took Simone's hand. Lead the way, Ms. Brooks. They walked into the kitchen together. And Simone realized something. She'd been so focused on all the ways this could go wrong that she'd forgotten to see all the ways it was already right. But as dinner progressed, Carter fitting seamlessly into her family, charming Beverly with stories about his construction days, asking genuine questions about Keisha's new job, Simone's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. She opened it. A photo loaded. Carter at a restaurant. 2 weeks ago, before New Year's. With a blonde woman. Laughing. Looking intimate. The message below read. Ask him about Vanessa. Ask him why she really thinks you're a mistake. The phone felt like ice in her hands. Across the table, Carter was laughing at something Beverly said. Completely unaware. And Simone realized that trust was harder than she thought. She waited until after dinner. Until Beverly was packing leftovers and Carter was helping dry dishes like he'd done it 1,000 times. Until the moment felt normal enough that shattering it would hurt more. Can we talk? Her voice came out steady. Outside. He looked up from the plate he was drying. Saw something in her face. Yeah. Of course. Beverly's back porch overlooked a small yard. String lights her brother-in-law had hung last summer still glowing warm against the January cold. She wrapped her arms around herself. Not from temperature. What's wrong? He stood close but didn't touch. Like he could sense the distance she needed. She pulled out her phone. Opened the text. Handed it to him without a word. His face went still as he looked at the photo. At him and Vanessa, heads close together, her hand on his arm. The angle made it look intimate. Damning. Where'd you get this? Anonymous text. During dinner. She forced herself to look at him. Is it real? The photo? Yes. The implication? No. He handed back her phone. That was 3 weeks ago. Business dinner. Vanessa's husband was there. He's literally cropped out of the frame. His jaw tightened. Someone's messing with you. Why would they do that? Because they want us to fail. He ran a hand through his hair. Simone, you have to know I would never. I don't know anything. The words came out harder than she meant. I've known you for 2 weeks, Carter. 2 weeks. And in that time, I've been called a gold digger, had strangers dissect my age online, met your sister who clearly thinks I'm a mistake, and now I'm getting anonymous messages with photos of you and other women. Other women? His voice rose. It's one photo. Deliberately cropped. Sent by someone who wants to break us up. Maybe they're doing me a favor. The silence that followed felt like glass breaking. You don't mean that. Don't I? She turned away, gripping the porch rail. Every time I think maybe this could work, something else happens. Another reminder that we don't make sense. That I'm kidding myself. So what? You're just going to believe some anonymous coward over me? I'm trying to protect myself. From what? He moved in front of her, forcing eye contact. From me. From being happy. What exactly are you protecting, Simone? My heart. The admission ripped out of her. I'm protecting my heart because I can't go through this again. Can't build something just to watch it crumble. Can't be the one left behind wondering what I did wrong. His expression softened. Is that what Gerald did? Made you think you were the problem? Tears burned. She blinked them back. He said I let myself go. That I wasn't fun anymore. That the girl he married would have tried harder. Her voice cracked. And maybe he was right. Maybe I did stop trying. Maybe I wasn't enough. Stop. He grabbed her shoulders, gentle but firm. Listen to me. Gerald was a coward who blamed you for his own failings. You didn't let yourself go, you grew up. You built a life. You became more, not less. And he couldn't handle that you didn't need him anymore. You don't know that. I know cowards. I know men who tear down women because they're threatened by their strength. His hands slid down her arms. And I know you, Simone. Know you're scared because someone you trusted destroyed that trust. But I'm not him. Then who sent the photo? I don't know. But I'm going to find out. He pulled out his phone. And I'm going to make sure everyone knows exactly where I stand. What are you doing? He didn't answer. Just typed furiously, then showed her the screen. A text. To someone named Melissa. Need you to find out who's sending Simone harassing messages. Photos from that dinner with Vanessa and Tom 3 weeks ago. Cropped to look bad. This ends now. He sent it. Then opened another message thread. Vanessa. Someone's using photos of us to harass Simone. If it's you or anyone in your circle, I will make sure your husband knows every detail of how his wife spends her time undermining people for sport. Back off. Sent. Carter, you can't just. Watch me. He looked up. I told you I'd fight for this. Did you think I was kidding? I thought you'd realize it wasn't worth fighting for. Then you weren't listening. He pocketed his phone. Took her hands. Tomorrow night. The catering event at the Piedmont Club, the one my firm is hosting. What about it? I'm supposed to give a speech. Welcome everyone, talk about quarterly projections, bore people with corporate speak. He stepped closer. I'm going to do something else instead. Her stomach dropped. Carter. I'm going to tell a room full of colleagues, investors, and business partners that I'm involved with someone remarkable. Someone who makes me want to be better. Someone I'm falling in love with. His voice didn't waver. And if that makes them uncomfortable or if they have opinions about age or race or class or whatever else they want to judge, they can leave. You'll ruin your reputation. My reputation isn't worth more than you are. He said it simple. True. I'm done playing it safe. Done caring what Melissa thinks or what Vanessa whispers or what strangers on the internet say. I want you, Simone. And I'm going to make damn sure everyone knows it. What if I say no? What if I tell you not to? Then I won't. He lifted her hand to his lips. Kissed her knuckles. But I'm asking you to let me. Let me prove I'm serious. Let me show you that what we have is worth fighting for. Inside, Beverly was humming along to the radio. Dishes clinked. The world kept spinning like it wasn't tilting under her feet. Why? The question came out broken. Why do you care so much? Because when I'm with you, I remember what it feels like to want something beyond work and deals and the next big investment. He pulled her close. Because you laugh at my bad jokes and call me out when I'm being pretentious and you make the best shrimp I've ever tasted. Because when you walked into that party kitchen looking like your world was ending, something in me shifted. And I haven't been the same since. A tear slipped down her cheek. He caught it with his thumb. I know I'm younger. I know my world is complicated and messy and full of people who don't understand. But Simone, his voice dropped. I will spend every day proving I choose you. That age doesn't matter. That you're not too anything except maybe too good for me. You don't believe that. I do. He smiled, sad and honest. You're brilliant and resilient, and you've built something from nothing. You've survived betrayal and still somehow found the courage to let me in. You're everything I didn't know I was looking for. More tears. She couldn't stop them now. I'm a mess, she whispered. So am I. I'm going to mess this up. Then we'll fix it. Together. He rested his forehead against hers. Just say yes. Let me do this. Let me stand in front of everyone tomorrow and tell them you're mine. Her phone buzzed. Another text from the unknown number. He's lying. Ask him about the real reason Vanessa's husband wasn't at that dinner. Ask him who he really was there to see. She showed him the message. Watched his face harden. James Whitmore was there. Vanessa's husband, he's cropped out. We were discussing West Coast expansion with Richard Chen's team. Vanessa crashed the dinner. I can't just call your colleague. Why not? If you don't trust me, verify. No anger in his voice. Just determination. I have nothing to hide, Simone. Nothing. She stared at him. At the raw honesty in his face. At the man who'd shown up at her sister's house with Cobbler and fought for her even when she was pushing him away. I don't need to call him. You sure? I'm sure. She took a shaky breath. I'm sorry. For doubting you. For letting them get in my head. Don't apologize for protecting yourself. He cupped her face. Just promise me you'll talk to me when you're scared instead of running. That's all I ask. I promise. And tomorrow night. She thought about it. About standing beside him in front of his entire professional world. About the whispers and stares and judgment. About Vanessa's sneer and Melissa's disapproval. Then she thought about his hand in hers. About peach cobbler and midnight kisses and the way he looked at her like she was the answer to a question he'd been asking his whole life. Yes. The word came out stronger this time. Yes. Do it. His smile was sunlight breaking through clouds. Yeah. Yeah. She pulled him down, kissed him with everything she'd been holding back. Relief. Fear. Hope. Love. When they broke apart, both breathless, he laughed. Simone Brooks, you're going to be the death of me. Worth it. Every single second. The event was smaller than the New Year's gala but no less intimidating. 100-person fundraiser dinner. Her company catering. Carter's firm hosting. She'd spent the day prepping food, directing her team, trying not to think about what he was planning to do. Lorraine kept watching her with knowing eyes. You okay? Lorraine asked, arranging appetizers. Define okay. That good, huh? Lorraine grinned. What's happening? Carter's going to. She trailed off. He's going to make a speech. About us. Lorraine's eyes went wide. In front of everyone? In front of everyone. Girl. Lorraine set down the tray. That's big. That's terrifying. That's love. Lorraine squeezed her shoulder. Let him do it. Let him show you off. Now, standing in the kitchen while her team handled service, she could hear Carter at the podium. Opening remarks. Welcome. Thanks for coming. And before we get to dinner, his voice carried through the speakers, I want to talk about something personal. Her heart stopped. Most of you know me as someone who keeps work and life separate. Who doesn't talk about relationships or bring dates to company events. Who plays it safe. A pause. I'm done with that. Oh God. 3 weeks ago, I met someone at our holiday party. Someone remarkable. Someone who challenged everything I thought I knew about what I wanted. And I've spent every day since trying to convince her that what we have is real. That age doesn't matter. That other people's opinions don't matter. That all that matters is how we feel about each other. Through the kitchen door crack, she could see faces turning. Whispers starting. Melissa sitting at the head table, face pale. Her name is Simone Brooks. She's the owner of Brooks & Company, the incredible catering company that's feeding us tonight. She's 48 years old. She's black. I'm 34 and white. And according to some people in this room, that makes us a mistake. Silence. Complete. Breathless silence. But here's what I know. She's the first person I think about every morning. She makes me laugh. She calls me out when I'm being pretentious. She's built a successful business from nothing, survived betrayal with grace, and somehow still found the courage to let me into her life. His voice strengthened. And I'm in love with her. Completely. Unequivocally. In love with her. Someone gasped. Probably Vanessa. So if that makes anyone uncomfortable, the exit is to your right. If anyone has opinions about age or race or class or whatever else you want to judge, save it. I don't care. The only opinion that matters to me is hers. A pause. Simone, if you're listening, I meant what I said. I choose you. Every day. In front of everyone. Lorraine shoved her toward the door. Go. Right now. I can't just. Yes, you can. He just declared his love in front of 100 people. Get out there. She pushed through the kitchen door before she could think. Walked into the main room. Every head turned. Carter stood at the podium, still holding the microphone. His face when he saw her, relief, joy, love, made every stare worth it. She walked toward him. Past Melissa's shocked expression. Past Vanessa's fury. Past colleagues whispering and phones recording. Walked right up to the stage. He set down the microphone. Met her at the stairs. Hi, he said softly. Hi. She was shaking. That was too much. Perfect. She grabbed his tie. Pulled him down. Kissed him in front of everyone. The room erupted. Some in gasps. Some in applause. She didn't care. Could only feel his hands in her hair, his smile against her lips, the way he held her like she was precious. When they pulled apart, he rested his forehead against hers. I love you, he whispered. I love you too. Behind them, Richard Chen started clapping. Loud, enthusiastic. Nicole joined in. Then others. Not everyone. Vanessa sat rigid, Melissa looked ill, but enough. Enough. The week after the speech changed everything. And nothing. The gossip blogs picked it up, venture capitalists' shocking love declaration. But this time, the comments were different. Mixed. Some still cruel, but others, supportive. Hopeful. Women her age saying they felt seen. Her business phone rang off the hook. 3 new event bookings. 5 more inquiries. Someone from a lifestyle magazine wanting to interview her about building a business after divorce. You're trending, Lorraine said, showing her phone. Hashtag age gap romance. Hashtag love wins. Girl, you're famous. I'm not famous. I'm just in love with a man who declared it in front of everyone. Lorraine grinned. Own it, baby. You earned this. But the real test came on a Tuesday. Beverly called at noon. Guess who just booked a catering order? Who? Melissa Hayes. For a board dinner next month. 50 people. Requested you specifically. The silence stretched. Simone. She wants me to cater? That's what I said. You want me to tell her we're booked. She thought about it. About Melissa's disapproval at the gala. About the way she'd looked when Carter made his speech. Shocked, maybe horrified. No, she said slowly. I'll do it. You sure? I'm sure. Because running was easy. Facing things head-on was harder. But she was done with easy. He lived downtown in a high-rise with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Modern, clean, comfortable in a way that felt like him. She'd been there twice now. Both times still felt surreal. Your sister booked my company, she said, kicking off her shoes. He looked up from his laptop. She what? Board dinner next month. 50 people. She settled onto the couch beside him. Think it's a peace offering or a test? With Melissa. He closed the laptop. Probably both. A pause. You don't have to do it. I want to. And she meant it. I'm not afraid of your sister. Liar. But he smiled. Pulled her close. You're terrified. Little bit. She tucked herself against his side. Felt his arm come around her. But I'm tired of being scared. Tired of letting other people's opinions dictate my life. Yeah. Yeah. She tilted her head to look at him. I've been thinking about what you said. About trust. About talking instead of running. And I need to tell you something. She sat up. Faced him fully. I'm still scared. Every day. Scared you'll wake up and realize there are younger women. Prettier women. Women without stretch marks and gray roots and... He kissed her. Soft and thorough. Not helpful, she mumbled against his lips. Very helpful. He pulled back just enough to meet her eyes. Because every time you start spiraling, I'm going to kiss you until you remember that I chose you. Keep choosing you. We'll always choose you. That's your strategy. It's worked so far. He grinned. Turned serious. But Simone, I need you to hear me. Really hear me. I don't want younger. I don't want different. I want you. Your laugh. Your strength. The way you hum Mary J. Blige when you cook. The way you cry at commercials but pretend you're not. The way you love your family so fiercely it makes my chest hurt. Her eyes burned. Carter. I want Sunday dinners with Beverly and Lorraine. I want to learn your grandmother's cobbler recipe even if we never get it right. I want to build a life with you, Simone. Not some imaginary perfect woman. You. I'm not perfect. Thank God. Perfect sounds boring. He traced her cheek. You're real. You're mine. That's all I need. She kissed him then. Poured everything into it. Love, fear, hope, trust. When they broke apart, both breathless, she rested her forehead against his. I love you, she whispered. Even when I'm scared. Especially when I'm scared. I love you too. He held her close. We're going to be okay. You know that, right? I'm starting to. The venue was a private dining room in Buckhead. Elegant, understated. Exactly the kind of place Melissa would choose. Simone arrived early with her team, directing setup with the calm confidence 3 years of business had given her. Lobster bisque. Herb-crusted lamb. Roasted root vegetables. Lemon tart with fresh berries. Her best work. You good? Lorraine asked, adjusting the table settings. I'm good. And she was. Nervous but good. Melissa arrived an hour before the guests. Took one look at the setup and nodded. It's beautiful. Thank you. An awkward silence. Then Melissa said, Can we talk? Before everyone arrives. Here it was. The confrontation. The lecture. Simone braced herself. Of course. They stepped into the hallway. Melissa crossed her arms. Not defensive. More like she was holding herself together. I owe you an apology. Of all the things Simone expected, that wasn't it. What? At the gala. I was rude. Judgmental. Melissa's jaw tightened. I told Carter you were a mistake. That he was being impulsive. That the age difference was problematic. You weren't wrong about the challenges. No. But I was wrong about you. Melissa met her eyes. I watched him after that speech. Watched him the past 2 weeks. He's different. Lighter. Happy in a way I haven't seen since our father died. Something in her chest loosened. He talks about you. About how close you are. We are. Which is why I was so scared. Melissa's voice went quiet. Our father was charming. Charismatic. Made our mother feel like she was the only woman in the world. Until she wasn't. Until he left her for someone younger when she turned 50. The revelation hung between them. I saw you with Carter and I saw history repeating. Saw my mother's heartbreak. Her humiliation. Melissa's eyes glistened. But I was wrong. You're not my mother. And Carter's not our father. He's better than that. And you. She paused. You make him better. Melissa. Let me finish. She held up a hand. I still think this will be hard. That people will judge you both. That there will be challenges I can't even imagine. But I also think, her voice cracked, I think maybe you're exactly what he needs. Someone who's lived. Who's built something. Who knows her own worth. Tears pricked behind her eyes. Thank you. For saying that. Don't thank me yet. I'm still going to be overprotective and probably annoying. A small smile. But I'll try to be less judgmental. That's all I ask. Melissa extended her hand. Professional. An offering. Simone took it. Shook. Then, on impulse, pulled her into a brief hug. When they separated, Melissa looked startled. Then pleased. Your lamb better be as good as Carter says. It's better. We'll see. Everything went perfectly. The food was impeccable. The service flawless. Melissa's board members raved. Asked for business cards. 3 requested quotes for upcoming events. Simone was packing up in the kitchen when she heard voices in the dining room. One familiar. One she'd hoped never to hear again. Trevor. Didn't realize she'd be catering, he was saying. Probably to whoever would listen. I actually went out with her. Nice enough woman, but... She pushed through the door before she could think. He stood near the bar with another man, both in suits. His face when he saw her. Surprise, then that condescending smile she remembered. Simone. Small world. Trevor. She kept her voice even. Professional. The food was excellent. You've really found your calling. That tone. Like catering was cute. A hobby. Much better than those dating apps, right? The other man looked uncomfortable. Started to excuse himself. Actually, a voice said from behind her. Carter. She's found more than her calling. He crossed to her. Slid his arm around her waist. Kissed her temple like it was the most natural thing in the world. Trevor's face went pale. You're with Hayes. She is. No warmth in the words. And you are. Trevor. We went out. Once. Few weeks back. Understanding dawned cold in his eyes. You're the one who called her ordinary. Trevor stammered. I never, that's not. It's exactly what you said. Simone found her voice. Found her strength. You spent 40 minutes talking about your ex-wife, asked if I'd gained weight, then told your colleagues I was too old and too ordinary for your standards. I was just being honest. She stepped forward. Out of Carter's hold because she needed to do this herself. You know what's ordinary, Trevor? Men who tear down women because they're insecure. Men who think youth equals value. Men who can't see brilliance standing right in front of them. Trevor's jaw worked. Look, if I offended you. You didn't offend me. You underestimated me. Thought I'd shrink. Thought I'd believe your assessment of my worth. She smiled. Sharp. Certain. But I built a business you couldn't manage. I have a man who sees my value without me begging for it. I have a life I'm proud of. So thank you, actually, for showing me exactly what I don't need. Carter's hand found hers. Squeezed. Trevor looked between them. Opened his mouth. Closed it. I should go. Good idea, Carter said. Ice. They watched him leave. Watched him literally run away. Melissa appeared from the hallway, slow clapping. That was spectacular. You heard. Every word. She grinned. Remind me never to get on your bad side. Simone laughed. Full and free. Deal. Nicole materialized with champagne glasses. I heard we're celebrating someone putting an asshole in his place? Where'd you come from? Board member's wife. I've been here the whole time dying to talk to you. Nicole handed out glasses. That speech. Chef's kiss. Literally and figuratively, since you also made an incredible lamb. They toasted. Laughed. Melissa told an embarrassing story about Carter in high school. Nicole promised to book her company for her daughter's graduation party. And Simone realized something. She wasn't invisible anymore. Wasn't too old or too ordinary or too anything. She was exactly enough. Spring came to Atlanta with dogwoods blooming and pollen coating everything gold. Simone's business had doubled. She'd hired 2 more staff members. Turned down more events than she accepted. Life was good. Better than good.